order. Stand and say the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Motion to approve the agenda with the following change. We will add action item J, declare surplus property. And then in addition, we will have executive session as to negotiations at the conclusion of the meeting.
So moved.
Thanks, Joel. Thank you, Marty. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Conflicts disclosure. Do we need to refill them out? Is this the time where we refill them out again for next year?
Yep, I have them all completed, you just need to sign, you need to approve them, and it's for the following 3 people, and the reasons are listed. If you want me to go over them, or you can.
So, Tom Sanis, possible legal clients of district contractors. Martin Lewinga, benefit of employee contract, wife, staff negotiations. James Block, benefit of employee contract, wife, staff negotiations. Those are it?
That's it.
Okay,
Need a motion?
please.
Moved.
Thank you, Joel. Larry, second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, public communications? None? Motion to approve the minutes of our July 10th regular board meeting as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Marty. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Joel. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve the minutes of our special meeting of August 10th as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Larry. Second, Joel. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion to approve motion carried. Motion to approve the financial statements. Sorry about that.
So moved.
Thank you, Joel. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Discussion. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve the claims.
So moved.
Thank you, Marty. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Larry. Discussion. We didn't spend any money last month.
No,
It was a
none.
small month.
That was a doozy.
Everything looked pretty good to me. I mean, anything jump out to anybody that want to go further? Okay. All in favor of the claims as presented, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, motion to approve the handbooks for the 2023-2024, which were emailed to us, I believe, by Jim and Craig last week.
So moved.
Thank you, Joel. Second.
Second.
Discussion.
I have basically one change in the high school handbook, and I do believe I mentioned it to you, or at least highlighted. All it is the requirements that we had to change for the dual credits that I explained at our last board meeting, where the state has now gone to a different dual credit for high school. We, as a district, were giving 1.25 credits for a 3-credit class at the college level. It now has to go down to 0.5, and that's the new state guidelines. We don't have a choice, so it's just, we made the change in our handbook to address the changes for the administrative rules. That was the only change. Every year with my handbooks, I always have a handbook on my desk, and anytime that something comes up where I feel like we need to update or edit a policy because some situation occurred, I always have highlights and put notes on it. And when I went to do my edits this year, I went, must have been a slow year with edits on the handbook at least. It wasn't a slow year for everything, but, so I didn't have any other changes that I had noted.
Do you see that change in number of students taking those classes?
You know what, there's gonna be some unique situations, and here is a perfect example. I could use Chase probably as an example. So our kids here before could take, I'll use math, Algebra 1, Geometry, and Algebra 2. And then if they don't plan to major in math, they could take college algebra or even test out of college algebra, and that credit would count for their college credit, and they would get 1.25 credits here, but now they're only going to get 0.5 for that 3-credit class. So Chase, if you're going into your senior year and you need 4 years of math and you did that, he now has to take another high school class, or he's got to take another college class to get that other half credit. We're still gonna have a lot of kids that will take the college credits because it's economical. It's the best thing they can. I mean, to stay in high school and take those classes is a very good thing. But would you rather take pre-calc as a senior, or you are probably already taking, would you rather take pre-calc or would you rather take college statistics to meet that other half credit? I'm a math person, I know which one I do. I do the pre-calc, but then I don't get the college credit, so it's kind of a cruddy deal in comparison to what our kids had with the way we did it. But that's the compromise the state did. I would guess the same thing could happen with science as well, but you don't really need, well, if you do the Board of Regents Scholar Diploma and other things and you want that 4 years of science, you could end up having the same thing happen. So,
Any other comments about the handbooks? Mr. Case, anything?
On mine, I just reworded some of the information for parents when they're picking up their kids, so I didn't have a lot of changes like Jim too, so I actually do the same thing, I keep it right by my desk, and if there's anything that we need to change or take a look at, we do that, or talk to the staff and get their input and go from there.
Okay. All in favor of approving the handbooks for 2023, 2024 as presented, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve the out-of-district busing request of the Langford Area School District. Thank you, Marty. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Larry. Discussion?
Do we have more than this, or just this one for now?
I did get a letter from Wabe too, but I did not get one from Summit. I don't even want to bring Summit up, but I didn't get one from Summit.
I did read the Wabe Clipper today, and I noticed that they took no action on their out-of-district busing agreements. It didn't say which ones.
Wabe didn't? So
Do you
Lord,
know?
I'm sorry, I was at their meeting Monday night. They did take action on Webster's and Summit's busing agreements, approving them.
So it must have been the meeting before that they took no action.
I must have failed to get you the one from Wabe.
We'll add Wabe in.
Yeah.
So it'll be
Then
to
it's a
approve.
reciprocal agreement. He writes the same letter that it's actually my letter, but he uses it, so.
So we got Langford and Wabe. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to, hang on one second, I get back to everything here. Motion to accept the resignation of Nancy Gaikowski, food service.
So moved.
Thank you, Larry. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve the contract of Devin Peterson, junior high football coach.
So moved.
Thank you, Marty. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Joel. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve the contract for Nick Lesnar, junior high football coach.
So moved.
Thank you, Larry. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Discussion?
Could I make a motion to move into executive session for personnel?
Can, do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign, motion carries. We'll go into executive session, we'll just walk out here to one of those classrooms down here, then you guys don't have to move anything.
You need me?
Yeah, you need you. Back on the record, the motion before us was a motion to approve Nick Lesnar as junior high football coach. We had a first and second. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve Jordan Rising as paraprofessional.
So moved.
Thank you, Joel. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Discussion?
Jordan will be working mainly at the Head Start. So we have mainly and primarily the special ed realm. So I think it's a good hire. I think she'll do a good job. She's been participating in the para trainings yesterday and today, so.
Okay. Any further questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve Tyler Wagner as weight room supervisor.
So moved.
Thank you, Marty. Second, Joel. Discussion?
Is this the year-round one or the summer one or what? It's
You're
year-round.
wrong.
All-
Was it vacant prior to this?
It was,
Tobin, we didn't have one
He's
last
gone.
year.
Yeah.
But when Tobin was
But
here,
it's
it was
vacant.
him. What?
It was vacant till now. There was one prior, I know. But there hasn't been this last month or?
Last year there wasn't.
Correct.
Which weight room is that? Armory or?
Yes.
Armory.
all in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve the TASC plan document as presented.
So moved.
Thank you, Joel. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Marty. Discussion? This is basically our annual motion that allows the employees to have the flexible spending accounts with their health savings accounts, correct?
Correct.
Or the health insurance. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve food service procurement bids. Do I need to list these off?
You don't have to, it will be in the minutes.
All right, I'll do it just to make it good. US Foods is primary, Performance Food Service is secondary or based upon availability. Other vendors include Prairie Farms for milk, Earth Grains for bread, and Coal Paper for supplies. Gotta get a motion.
So moved.
Thanks. Joel, second.
Second.
Thanks, Larry.
Who was the primary last year? Performance?
Same.
Or was he there?
Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve volunteer coaches. Can I do this as one or do they have to be
One.
individual? One. Megan Knutson for volleyball, Jared McClurg for football, and Matt Bumgarn for football.
So moved.
Thank you, Joel. Second, Larry, discussion? Nope, Marty, apologize. Sorry, Larry.
Other direction.
Other direction. I started looking this way. Any other discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve food service prices, second milks being 50 cents and adult breakfast being $2.75.
So moved.
Thank you, Larry. Second,
Second.
Marty. Got it right this time. Discussion.
I do have something to bring up. I talked to you guys 1 or 2 months ago about applying for Fresh Fruits and Vegetables Program, a grant. And I did not think we would qualify because our free and reduced numbers are not high enough. They still are not high enough, but they had leftover funds from the schools that applied. And so we just found out at the end of last week that we are approved. And so that will bring about some changes in our elementary. We cannot offer snack milks concurrent with this program. There is water available in every room, so that's, that will be okay. In the past, we have served snacks to preschool and kindergarten, and you always see a bill at the end of the year. This grant will save us thousands of dollars, and the fresh fruits and vegetables will be offered preschool through 5th grade. Now, I don't know, it has to be offered a minimum of 2 days, but it could be up to 5, and that's gonna be dependent upon I know how much our funds are, I just don't know how much that is gonna buy. And, you know, so we're gonna take that grant money, split it up for the 9 months, and that's how much we'll spend each month for fresh fruits and vegetables.
Okay.
Just odd question, why are we approving these two items now and not?
Because, I could not get each year I have to do a food service application, and so that was submitted, and, they came back with some things, we could not get it approved because I have these different things I have to complete. One of them is a non-revenue food tool, which has to do with adult prices and milks and snacks, and so we have to increase, we actually had to increase our adult breakfast by 3 cents, but I just bumped it a nickel to,
Sure.
and so we could not get our food service application approved unless we bumped it to these prices.
I think it's just important to note how much work goes into the food service and pricing, the requirements, and
We have a lot of restrictions with that program.
unbelievable.
But we also receive a ton of federal money to run that, so
Right.
we have to follow the rules.
Okay.
Kenny? Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Motion to approve open enrollment contracts 2410 through 2413.
So move.
Thank you, Joel. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Larry. Discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Just on, when we're always talking open enrollment, appreciate the memo that this year we're down approximately 17 miles with Cheyenne Transport. That does save us, you know, that Cheyenne 17 miles a day adds up to a significant amount over the budget year. If there's anybody out there that is on the bus routes and may not be using those bus routes or has questions about it, I'd highly encourage them to talk with our 2 bus route negotiators, which are still, is that you, Joel?
Marty and Aaron.
Aaron and Marty. Okay, Marty and Aaron. Because that can significantly save us money, and I know there's been confusion on that in the past, so if you're on the bus route and you don't know if you're gonna be using it, I'd really encourage you to reach out to either Aaron, Marty, Lori, Jim, any of the individuals here at the school to help us out.
Can that be done at any time or once a year, or?
I think we gotta do it prior to the
It's normally before the routes start.
start, yes. So, I mean, you know, our timeline is short on that, i.e. next week.
So
That's what I believe it to be.
during the school year, if someone drops, you don't adjust that till the following year.
If they move, if they just drop it, they were already on the route, then I think it stays.
Yeah.
But if they would, you know, if somebody would move, then it would be removed, those miles would be removed
If they still attended school.
here.
Okay? Motion to declare as surplus property, library shelving having little to no value. Thanks, Marty. Second?
Second.
Thanks, Larry. Discussion?
What are we gonna do with all the books?
It's not these, it's not these.
It was shelving that actually sat here in the middle of the room, and it's been in an extra class, or not an extra classroom, but against the wall in a classroom for an entire year. And when we do these surplus things, I actually just sent out 4 messages prior to the meeting tonight. 2 metal shelves and a desk and something else. If anybody in-house wants those things, then we do that. Otherwise, it goes into storage, or we declare it surplus and see if there's somebody else that wants it. I probably will contact the city library to see if it's anything they're interested in first. Otherwise, we might see if there's another district that would like to give, but they're not bad, but they're not great either, so.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Right.
All opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to discussion items. Superintendent's report, Dr. Block.
I actually didn't submit any notes for this particular month. There's lots of things on my mind, but I didn't jot them down. We started our training actually on Monday for all of our staff. The new teachers and new paras, we had a 2-hour session of orientation where we go through a lot of policies, procedures, and all of the things that we do for, leave time and checking out vehicles. Did that on Monday. Yesterday, our K-12 staff was here. We had a gentleman from the Department of Criminal Justice
Safety?
come and do safety and security. In all honesty, I thought he did a nice job. The information he shared was good. We didn't go through any exercises per se as to, how to, barricade the doors and do anything other than just some discussion type things. But it's always good information. This is a little bit different than what we've had in the past. The last time we had a significant training like this would have been probably about 4 or 5 years ago, where we had an active shooter person come in from Omaha. And I'm not aware that that gentleman has been up in northeast South Dakota since then. So that means us and Wilmot and Waubee and Warner and everybody that had that training 4 or 5 years ago is not doing that training again or following up. Part of it is because the mindset has changed a bit, so that actually significantly, where we're not really doing training where there's like an active shooter training. It's more about situational awareness and facility awareness, and what you can do as a teacher, a para, or whoever is in charge of a group of students within the area that you are in to make the best decision that you can if there is some sort of a shooter. So I felt good about the training. And there's some other resources that we're going to utilize through his office, I think, to follow up. It never seems like we're ever trained enough, but we have to continue to train to prepare for hopefully something that will never happen here. We did that yesterday. Then they had work time in the afternoon. We have seen quite a bit of moving and shaking with moving furniture and desks and things like that, so we're starting to get that stuff going. Today we had, I call it employee training. We're starting something new this year. EMC is our insurance company, and we're using something called Vector Solutions. Other schools in this area use it for Title IX training, the sexual harassment portion of that, employability training, mandatory reporting for children, child abuse, those types of things. Restraint and seclusion. There's 5 different videos. Our paras had that training this morning in-house while they're clocked in, and then we had some special para training from some folks from Thai this afternoon. I'm stealing all your thunder. You're not going to have anything to say, Harley.
That's fine.
And then our teachers are going to do that online training through Vector Solutions on their own, and my proposal is that we dismiss them from one of our in-service dates during the school year, like at noon, so that's their compensation. Because it takes approximately 4 hours. It took the kitchen staff a little longer than what I had planned. So we did that training this morning. Tomorrow, we are here. We had our staff meetings yesterday, secondary and elementary. We're here tomorrow all day. It's mostly setup time, preparation time, and then obviously we have the back-to-school barbecue tomorrow night. So Friday is not a contract day, Monday's not a contract day, and then we will have the staff in-house on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, with the students coming Thursday. So that's really all I have for what's going on right now. But we're getting underway. I think the training went well yesterday and so.
Okay, any other questions for Dr. Block? All in favor, say aye. Oh, wait a minute, we don't have to do that, thanks, I'm on a roll tonight. Been a long day. All right, principal report, Mr. Case.
Just to add a little bit more to what Jim said, the training for the paras this afternoon was from Ty. Feedback from them was pretty good. They worked on 3 components. They worked from 12:30 to 4. And as you well know, we have quite a few paras now. And the training covered collaboration with staff. So they talked about how to collaborate, work with other staff. And then another key component was working with behaviors in kids. And then the last one was how to empower kids to be more independent thinkers. And like I said, I just found out about the tie and how they can kind of help our paras with trainings, and they have a lot of other different components. And perhaps in the future, we might invite them back. Or the other option would be to do some online training. But they've been doing a lot of online training lately, and it's kind of nice to have a person come in and do that. Yeah, other than that, getting ready down in the elementary, you know, we're in a better situation down there with the elementary teachers, not having to really deal with the construction, but yet the dust has gone down that way, so we'll have to do some cleaning at that end. Pictures are coming up. I was just talking to Dr. Block. I think they're fairly soon, but we'll get all that information out to parents. Starbase kicks in right away at the beginning of September for 5th grade. Last year, we took 5th grade down to Sioux Falls to the air base, and that was quite a good trip for them. So we plan to do that again this year. We teamed up with Summit and Waubay and filled up a bus that way. So that was kind of neat to fill up the bus and go down in conjunction with them. That's about all I have there. I have some more to add for buildings and grounds.
That's such a good report, I won't even ask for a motion to approve it, Mr. Case, that's so good. All right, moving on, thanks, NESC.
Were we even able to go, or? I don't remember.
There wasn't anything, they talked a little bit about some legal stuff for the board going forward, but everything else was very routine.
Okay. Buildings and grounds.
I can start, and then Joel and Larry can add it.
Anything going on?
Yeah, I had a little
Yeah.
hesitation there.
Not much.
So we did have a meeting yesterday for our, we're now having weekly meetings, and we have one tomorrow too, don't we?
Tomorrow also.
Yeah, we do have one tomorrow, so we're actually having them far more frequently than usual. I have the wrong notes in front of me, I have the wrong notepad. Wax is not done on the flooring, but all of the classrooms are tiled. And if you were to walk down there this evening, you would see that there's an older gentleman that's tiling probably what's left of the corridor coming into this current corridor. So I think all of the tiling will be done probably tonight. My understanding is that the waxing is, I thought it was gonna happen yet at the end of this week, but I think they're gonna probably look to do that on this week and maybe do a first coat on Saturday and second coat on Sunday. Probably because there's still a lot of traffic of electricians, plumbers, people putting, there's just a lot of traffic down there. And in order to wax those rooms, you have to basically barricade them, wax, and it's gotta sit for 4 to 6 hours to dry before you can put a second coat on, and then again, you gotta do that. If you walk through, you'll see that there's significant stuff done basically on a daily basis. Like I said, all of the classrooms are done. They are trying to clean out the 2 north shops and then put everything into the ag shop, or vice versa, I don't know which is. I think they're gonna clean out the top 2. All of the overhead doors are in. Quite a bit of concrete has been poured outside. When you talk about the parking lot perimeter, this area here where the canopy is, the south sidewalk, the apron is what you call it on the driveway for all of the shops. They did finish the concrete in this corridor that divides the middle school and the high school, so we have a straight hallway now. That was trenched and dug out for plumbing and sewer, and that's all been concrete. So we can pass through there again now without climbing over dirt piles and gravel and stuff. I don't know. Others.
Carpet, everything from this point south will be done this week, tile and everything, don't you think?
They have the walk-off already done in the very, very south entrance. They tore out the walk-off in here, and that's what he's tiling. There's some repair tile that he has to tie in. We have boxes of tile from this original, so it should be close to matching, that will go in front of the office. I don't know what they're putting where there was walk-off, but that's now all concrete. He's getting it smoothed out and leveling it to put tile down. So there might be a transition where it might be the old to the new, even though it's still in part of our current building.
But all the entrances will be done later on, more or less. You know, like this one, the carpet down that one, over on where the center base is and everything, that won't be done.
Before school starts.
No,
Correct.
no.
And that'll be something, it might be a little bit before they get to those. They'll be passable and everything.
I do believe that they've run the data lines to the new addition. Our fiber is still not in the new server room. DCS, I think, is the company out of Aberdeen. They're scheduled to come tomorrow to do that. And that wasn't really, I don't think that was discussed at our meeting, but that's the email that Tammy Block has received, I've received, and it's from Jack. So their plan is to come tomorrow and do that. Once they hook that fiber up, one of the things that we've had happen is we've had our outside entities where our camera people have installed cameras K through 12, and if you go in this new server room, there's just these bazillion white wires that are hanging there, but they can't hook it up to anything because the server rack is not there because it's still over in the middle school where the original server room is. If we get the fiber in tomorrow and get the data pulled to the south, they can hopefully get that server moved, hooked up, and then tested. If that doesn't go well, it's not going to be good because that will affect K-12 if it doesn't go well. So we're keeping our fingers crossed, and we really need a day or two to kind of troubleshoot if it doesn't go well, because I think we can still teach without computers, but it's not that easy for us because we're not used to that, so.
Joel, Larry, how do you guys feel? Where are we at with everything?
It's getting there.
It's getting there.
Their new water will be completed Friday and Monday, where they're tying it down there. You got that cap out there, Joel.
Yep. I do know it's the Mason's intention to be done the end of this week. And I'm sure Craig's gonna talk a little bit about the playground, but if he can get done and out of the way, we've got a plan with Craig to try and get that playground back into shape. Jack did tell us to bring asphalt here, not next week, but the following week. So hopefully in a couple of weeks, this all gets asphalt paved and that can be turned over. It's just, we're right there, you know, everything's, I think.
Yeah,
We did.
excuse me, to piggyback on Joel, on the playground there where we have two sets of swings out there right now. And if you remember, we had Roland Larson pull up two sets. Right now, I'm waiting to hear back from Dakota Fence. I don't know, and I don't think we have enough room to put them back up to have that safe barrier, which is recommended for swings. So I'm waiting to get feedback on that. Of course, those guys are over there. Roland said he would be able to put them up if we can. But like I said, I highly doubt we can put them up just because of a tighter fit. And then the other reason would be, you know, snow removal. If we do put some swings back up there, it'd be hard for Blake to get through there. And down in the future, if we ever have to replace playground equipment, it's harder to get trucks through there and things like that. So the best option might be to, just surplus those swings. We don't have any more an area to put those up. And then right now, we would just put P-rock in there temporary to hold it. Just an FYI, Vanessa Bloom approached me last year, and I've had some others interested in getting a committee together to look at that playground and to maybe revamp it and maybe do sections of doing a little bit better out there. We're looking at, you know, the rubber, what is it, the pavement, the stuff.
Sport court?
A rubberized surface.
Rubberized surface that meets code for ADA, and if a kid falls off a swing or whatever, it's fine, it softens the blow. And I know Britton did that up there, so I said, go ahead, let's get a committee together and look at what we could do different out on the playground. And, you know, that south playground equipment is getting, 23 years old now and starting to fade, and some things are starting to break. The tire swing, I still have to fix one of those and get that back up. But just FYI, we're gonna get a committee together, and nothing fast and furious, and just kind of plan and see what the future might be, see what kind of fundraising we could do, get some money in and look at improving the playground. So yeah, we're looking at putting up P-rock as soon as the masonry guys are out of there on the west side. And then Diamond Club was very nice, and they donated some turf, so we're gonna put some turf up. That sidewalk goes right by that outdoor campus that they just put up. We're gonna turf that there so we don't have to put black dirt in there, because if it's gonna rain, it's gonna get muddy for the kids, so that turf is going to be a lot nicer. It's used turf that the Diamond Club had extra, so they said, go ahead, we can use it for a while, which is really nice.
Just to piggyback on what Craig said, we were at one of our weekly meetings yesterday talking about what are we doing, what's gonna happen. And I mean, within 5 minutes of, Jim and Craig and Larry and I standing there, next thing you know, we've got the Diamond Club people here, and everybody's pitching in and making a plan, and
Yeah.
I see it starting to happen already, so.
Yeah, some of the turf has arrived already.
Yeah, that's just one of the cool things about living in Webster, small town South Dakota. Everybody pitches in and works together.
Yeah. Also, buildings and grounds on the south end of the elementary doors. We're gonna have to get those handicap doors upgraded. We haven't been using them, but now that we need a wheelchair access because of a student that will need to go in those doors. So I had a gentleman look at them from House of Glass today, so he's gonna give us an estimate as to what we need to do to get those doors working again.
The door opener mechanism is above the door and it has power to it, but we've been utilizing other doorways that are accessible for several years, and we just think it's a good idea to consider doing that because it's a bus drop off and it's something we should have in place regardless.
Still feeling comfortable with school starting next Thursday then, Dr. Block?
Yeah. I know that's not we're gonna be in construction. There's gonna be parts that's not done.
You've dealt with that for a year now.
Right now, the biggest thing that I think would be my most stressful is if Mr. Peterson's and Mrs. McCurry's classrooms get waxed and we get to use them. Now, if that doesn't happen, then my stress level goes up. And so does theirs.
For the record to the board members, Jack has made it very clear that the building will be ready for school. He has not wavered in that, in my opinion. He stands strong. So I'm gonna take him at his word and it'll be ready.
Progress you feel pretty good with, Larry?
Yeah, they're gonna be doing some
There's
sitting grid
stuff
work
that's
with
gonna be
schools. They did that all last year while school was going on too, so. The hallways, they were in the corridors all year.
What's that?
They were in the corridors all last year doing plumbing and running lines.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be as, even if they have construction that they still need to do, it's not gonna be as bad as it was last year. There will be some demolition and cutting of concrete in the center base, but that's actually, it's a corridor away from our special ed in the middle school. It's several feet away from, quite a ways away from any classroom down there. And it's in its own isolated area. Plus, I would bet they're gonna probably be cutting that stuff within the next week or two, and so it's gonna be early in the season. We're not gonna have when we had study hall in here, they were tearing the wall out in the room next door. And so, our students lived through that and coped with it, but I don't think we'll have anything that significant for noise with what's left.
I think we can share the date he gave us when the center base and everything to the north will be done, and that was November 21.
So tentatively, this is, I guess, so everybody kind of knows, and correct me if I'm wrong, we're looking at using the west sides of the classrooms, or the west side classrooms of the new addition by the first day of school. I mean, by the end of the week, we may, I think the waxing's gonna happen this weekend, so it's gonna be early next week. The additional portion of that, where you're looking at the classrooms on the east side and the shops, we're looking at end of September, about September 27th or 29th, he said, some one of those dates.
Yep.
And then the center base and the special ed room, those are they've been demoed, but nothing has started for really doing much other than the concrete and roughing and the plumbing. Those are gonna be in probably mid-November. Which, that was kind of the comment I was saying to a lot of people, and I wasn't trying to be off the cuff when I was saying, but I thought, it's gonna be November before they get those two done, so.
Okay.
What time is the meeting tomorrow?
I don't know, actually.
I'm assuming it's probably a 1:30 or something.
didn't get-
again.
We talked about doing just a quick stand-up meeting where we didn't have to meet.
I won't be able to make it tomorrow,
Okay.
so Marty or Tom, if you guys were
I
available,
don't know if I'll be back in town before noon.
and you wanna just be, you know, if it worked for you, I won't be there, so that.
I won't be here.
Okay.
I think Jack was pushing just a progress.
I don't have it in my calendar, so.
Dr. Block is, I think that was the progress he wanted to give you.
Yeah.
for
And
next
Jack's
week.
been in the building every day this week,
Has he?
yeah. He's here today, again, we chatted a couple times, so.
Okay. Anything else for buildings and grounds? All right, motion to move into executive session for negotiations.
So,
Thank you, Joel. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Marty. All in favor, say aye.
I.
All opposed, say